You also feel like being out of balance sometimes, and you try to improve your life. You do many things like journaling, going on walks, jogging, all those things to feel better, to think better, to lead a better life, right? But still, it doesn't really add up. And I feel that way all the time. I'm someone who tries to improve, and still I sit there feeling foggy in my mind, feeling unmotivated, or I don't have the focus I would like to have in order to move forward in life. And if you feel that way as well, if you feel confused, overwhelmed by all the things that you could do, I think I could help you. Let's try this together, right? I'm still helping myself here. There are four different aspects that we can look at separately in order to see, okay, is there some disbalance in one of those areas? Which one should we focus on first? This gives a lot of clarity because there are easy steps that we can take for each area. And when we see that we actually lag behind in one of those areas, and we need to improve that one, and we actually are doing pretty well in the other areas, then we know where the bottleneck is. And once we improve one of those, the rest will move up with us, or the rest will improve as well. Sometimes we are just working on all these things like our body, our health, but then we neglect something else, and that's why we feel stuck. Okay, so I want to try to change that with you. So I want to introduce to you four aspects of life, and without further ado, let's talk about them. The first is the body. So obviously this is about eating healthy, moving your body, and taking care of your sleep, all those things. And the next thing is about the mind. So this is about consuming high quality content in form of video, in form of books, articles, and all that stuff, and becoming aware of your thoughts, about your emotions, being able to label your emotions, and to learn to think for yourself. These are all things that evolve around the mind. And number three is the spirit. And I'm not talking necessarily about what you might call woo-woo stuff. It's not about doing spiritual practices. It can be if that is something that is part of your life. Like I do some of those practices, and that belongs to the area of spirit. But for everybody, this is also about finding communities, living in a community and developing a sense of belonging. Sometimes we do the right things for our body, mind, but then we might neglect our friends, our inner circle, our family, and then we feel lost, we feel disconnected. Even though our body is healthy, even though we're reading great things, we are alone. And nothing can fix that sense of feeling alone when you don't belong anywhere, right? And there's a fourth aspect I call vocation. And this is the work you do every day. That's where you put your heart into. That is where you earn money, you create, and you serve others, right? And if you ignore that, all the other things will not balance your life, right? You can do yoga, you can do journaling, you can do sports. If you don't have something that makes you wake up in the morning, that earns you a living, right? Then, well, you cannot survive. So the vocation is finding something that you can do to earn money that also fulfills you. I got inspired by Dan Coe. From his model, he uses the word vocation as well in his model, where he also uses a similar distinction between body, mind, and spirit. I usually talk about purpose or calling, but I really want to give him credit here because he uses the word vocation, and that is a perfect addition for thinking in this way. Because if we look at all those four, we can really make sense of life and improve different aspects of our life and see how they work together. So there are many things you can do to pursue every path, right? In every aspect, you can do something very specific. You probably already have ideas how to improve your body, how to improve your mind. And some of these activities will cover many things at once. And I love those activities. I will tell you right away. If you go, you dance, you sing, you play, or you move with people, these are practices that just magically connect everything in one. Imagine you hit the drum and sing together with friends. That's what I love doing. You feel a sense of communion, but you play as well. You use your mind, you use your body. It's connecting. So it's also a matter of spirit, right? These are beautiful things, and of course, yoga, which literally is designed to connect body, mind, and spirit, right? That is the idea of yoga. So I don't just want to introduce to you these 4 aspects. Of course, you probably have heard of them. Now we want to talk about how do we figure out on which we should work on. And I will give you a practical framework, practical steps that will help you to work on one area specifically to improve that, right? And you might think, okay, do I have to work on one area first? I would say that is good, but you will also see that it will naturally improve the others as well. So don't worry. Don't feel like you dismiss anything, but it is about focusing on one area where you lag behind. And then you will see everything will change already, and the next iteration where you will focus on another area, maybe if you even still need that, you will see everything is already different, because you might improve the one thing that kept you stuck, And I will give you one example from my own personal life. And I personally thought that I am good in the area of body. I'm working out. I try to eat healthy. I try. It's not always the best, but I try. But then I took a closer look and I noticed, okay, I could probably improve my sleep, because I still feel foggy-minded. I feel unmotivated. I don't have the focus I need to improve my life, to pursue my business. So I noticed, okay, if I improve the sleep, which has been something I probably have been running away from for a long time, I could probably improve many other aspects of my life, right? So see already how these things just work together. So I decided I will focus on my sleep only. I have been a night owl my entire life, so this is not a little change, right? I kind of started to change. I did some radical changes, and that has really changed my life already. I feel much more energized, and that is only because I focused on one thing. You probably have done something like this as well. You start working out and suddenly you want to eat healthier. Suddenly you want to stop smoking. Or you stop drinking and suddenly you have time in the morning to read or to meditate, Or you joined a community and you started volunteering or going to group sports, and suddenly you not only gain new friends, but you see more opportunities for work, And that's the beauty of it, These 4 areas aren't just separate boxes to check off. They're threads of the same fabric. If you strengthen one, the rest becomes stronger as well, which is the beauty of the whole work we're doing here. So this maybe all sounds a little bit wishy-washy and confusing. That's why I prepared a framework for you that you can follow step by step in order to improve your own life. I hope you could follow me so far. If not, please let me know in the comment. I really try to improve my content. I want to make this as valuable as I can for you. Please let me know if it's not. Step number 1. Look which area you really want to improve and then pick one: body, mind, spirit, or vocation. So ask yourself specific questions like, for the body, do I eat healthy? Do I move enough and sleep well? Do I feel good within my body? For the mind, when was the last time I've learned something new? When was I stuck in old thinking patterns? Am I able to communicate emotions and process them without acting out? The spirit. Am I active in a community? Do I meet my friends often? Am I in touch with them? Or if you're spiritual or religious, do I actively engage in spiritual practices, right? Or vocation. Do I feel like I'm doing what I love, where I'm good at, for people that deserve my gift? And are those people willing to spend their money on my service so I can live from it? Okay, really go into yourself, really answer these questions, come up with more questions. These are just some examples. And then pick one area and commit to 60 days at least. That should be long enough for you to build a habit, for the habits to take root. Even if it's a small one, that doesn't mean you have to change your whole life, Again, one area can mean just 1 or 2 habits that you create and design around your day, okay? You need to decide on one area because this will be enough. I know in the beginning we might, if you're like me, you're enthusiastic, you want to change everything, and you're so motivated to do that. But believe me, one aspect, one area will already take a lot of attention and energy. And one, two, three habits will already, need a lot of your attention. Because there will be a moment where you just don't want to do that one habit, even if it's simple. Number two, create a new habit that will improve an aspect of that area. Okay? I think habits work really well when you do them after something that you are already doing reliably, right? Like brushing your teeth, right? Like drinking a coffee, going on a walk, talking to your wife, talking to your husband, getting buying bread, whatever it is. So here are some examples of habits that you can build on top of things that you already do. Meditating right after brushing your teeth. That's a personal example. Push-ups right after you close the laptop. A healthy snack right when you get your first coffee. Join a club or circle or other communities once per week after work. So you really want to anchor this new habit to something that you already do, okay? And that will become your cue. This is important because you can also use a reminder, an alarm, but I think it's easier to just build on something that you're already doing because we are humans, we do things already, right? So that is the easiest place to start. A habit is better than just having a goal. A habit is something that you just do automatically. So without even having to think of it, you do sit down, you meditate. I don't have to think, oh, I need a better mind. I need to reach the goal of becoming a monk or being enlightened. No, I just know that meditation is good for me, and I've already made it an automatic practice to sit down and meditate. Right? I don't have to force myself because it's just natural for me to do that after the things I do already. And now I have a habit of meditation. After that, I have other things that I do right after. So my habit of meditating becomes the cue for the next healthy thing that I can do. Okay, number three, design your environment. Okay, so what are the things that can actually stop you from doing the thing? It's things that are in the way. Obstacles, distractions, shiny objects that scream for your attention, that want you to look at them, right? So whatever it is that you want to improve, you want to design your environment in such a way that it feels effortless to follow them. So if you want to eat healthy, then put fruits on the table instead of sugary snacks. If you want to improve sleep, then move your phone out of the bedroom. Make it easy to go to the gym by preparing your clothes already the day before, Okay, for the spirit, it might be a little bit more tricky because it's not something you can just like easily change, like meeting friends, being people. But you might be able to just join a club or a community where you just have to go in order to meet people. So this is a bit different. And if you want to improve your vocation area, then create a dedicated workspace at home. Keep it clean, Remove distractions from your devices, or create a focus mode that doesn't allow you to open any other apps during your work, during your deep work. Simple as that. Do you just want to change your environment so it supports you in your new endeavor? Okay, number four, get started. Now this sounds easier than it sounds. I know. Like this sounds easier than it sounds. It is easier than it sounds easier than it is. That's how you say it. So now if you're like me, you're probably very enthusiastic now in the beginning. You do want to do 5, 6, 7 habits and implement them right there in the beginning. By all means, if you can trust yourself to do that, then do it. I did a few more things this time as well because I could trust myself to actually do it because I have seen success in the past and I have strengthened my habit muscle, But be aware that this sense of enthusiasm will fade sometimes. You will feel unmotivated and then you will require willpower in order to do these 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 habits, right? And we don't want to rely on willpower. We really don't. Willpower is a bad, unreliable thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's unreliable for most of us. And you need a fallback. You need a habit that is so easy to do that you can do it no matter what. I call it a tiny habit. It's from a book called Tiny Habit. And some people call it the 2-minute rule. So the point is that you want to create a fallback habit that is so easy that it requires almost no willpower for you to do it. For example, one push-up. Yeah, no, that's easy, right? Like for most of us, if you want to do 10 push-ups every day, just do one. If you don't feel like doing 10, do one. Or just put on your training shoes. That's something you can do in 2 minutes. It's ridiculous, right? Or if you want to meditate, sit down and take 3 breaths. If you want to do yoga, do 1 yoga pose, just one. If you want to read 1 page. If you want to write 1 sentence. The point is not that you just like do that forever, but whenever you don't feel like doing anything, it's better to do this one thing. And usually what happens, you will see, once you do 1 push-up, you are like, I could do 2 push-ups, okay, let's go, let's do another one. Okay, I could actually do 3 push-ups. Okay, well, let's just do 10 then. I mean, okay, let's go and do the whole damn exercise. And now I'm here, I'm warmed up, let's go. I read 1 page, I mean, I might as well finish the book. Or at least read like 10 pages or so, And you get the gist. That is the secret I can give to you. This is something that will help you to improve one area. Okay, here's an example how this can even bleed into each other. If you read 1 page at night, you start reading 10 pages and you start to fall asleep without looking at your phone for social media. So you will sleep earlier, you will sleep better, you will wake up more refreshed in the morning, and you might even want to read more. And before you know it, your life is just like completely different because you're so smart that you stack these beautiful, healthy little habits on top of each other with your different areas in mind, trying to improve one of those areas like body, mind, spirit. And remember, these 4 areas are threads of the same fabric, right? So strengthening one will make the rest of the weave stronger. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot that you watch that stuff and that I can share this with you. So if you like it, leave a like, share it with a friend who might benefit from this. And otherwise, I hope I see you in the next video. Much love. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.